Now, coming home from work, after being stuck in traffic to no electricity and sometimes waking up powerless, this is what South Africans are enduring as rolling blackouts take their emotional toll. University of Johannesburg's well-being economist, Professor Talita Greyling, conducted a study to find out exactly how people are being affected by the ongoing blackouts. She joins me now to unpack this further. Prof, good afternoon and welcome to today, and thank you very much for your time. Were you doing a study over the whole of 2022 into 2023? And just tell us how you did the study. Just a very quick, high level about the methodology.
Well, what we do is, for what I did at the moment, is just comparing a week, the last week where we had rumors of load shedding level stage 10, to what it looked like in the same week in 2022. So actually comparing year on year.
Okay.
And yes.
Yeah. So what did you find? I mean, you're focusing on our emotional well-being. What did you find?
That's correct. So we analyze certain emotions, and we do it at real time. And the emotions we are looking at are that I reported on now was the negative emotions. So it's anger, disgust, fear, and sadness. And it almost doubled since last year, April 2022, which we must remember in April 2022, we also had load shedding. So people now, the negative emotions in the country is really high.
Yeah, so it's fair to say in a different way, our happiness levels are at their lowest compared to the same period last year.
Well, it is lower. I won't say it's at the lowest. It's been lower than it's now, but compared to last year, it is lower.
Yeah. So I mean, if people are angry, people are disgusted, and people are fearful and sadness, that affects our disposition and how we go about our lives.
Definitely. If you've got all these negative emotions, then it makes you negative with everything. We would like a positive and happy community, because as soon as you're positive and happy, you find high productivity. People are healthier. People are more willing to adhere to certain regulations. So we don't want people with high negative emotions. We would prefer them to have high positive emotions and be happy.
Yeah, I mean, looking at that graphic that you were presenting currently to our viewers, I mean, you said they almost doubled year on year: anger, disgust, fear, and sadness. And fear stands up there tall above every other emotion. I mean, if you look at there's lack of electricity, but there's also other challenges. We have higher inflation that we're all affected by. Interest rates have gone up just recently by another 50 basis points. Economic growth is going nowhere slowly.
That is 100% correct. So we are in a whole, there's so many circumstances that contributes to these negative emotions. But on the other hand, load shedding has a big role to play in it. For example, the gross domestic product, which shows a very low growth, maybe a negative growth at this stage. But load shedding is part of that. And people are losing their jobs. Load shedding is part of that. Small business can't continue to pay those high prices for petrol or whatever they use to keep their generators going. So I think load shedding is not just a problem in itself, but all those problems are connected.
Yeah, but now if these negative emotions we are grappling with continue to go up or worsen, what are the likely implications?
What we find, and this is in the literature, and even in South Africa, it has happened before, is if those negative emotions is not addressed, it can go over in action. So it can be strikes. We've seen that before. So we don't want that action that follows real anger and frustration. And, normally South Africans something terrible will happen in South Africa. In a few days, they will start joking about it. They've stopped joking about load shedding. There's nothing funny about it any longer. So if you look at tweets, you will see people are really, they had enough of load shedding. and there's no hope. They can't see a plan how it's going to change. So as soon as you've got hope, you can increase your positive emotions. But at this stage, there's nothing.
Yeah, you say there's no hope because we were looking for a plan. There was like a glimmer maybe of hope when President Ramaphosa announced a new electricity minister. We thought, yeah, somebody on a day-to-day basis is going to help us to sort it out. And we saw the minister, Hussein Soramakgopa, making his whirlwind tour of all the power stations, different parts of the country. We thought, oh, there's some action. And then there was those few days when we went back to stage 2, so to speak, where so, oh, maybe. There was even a day where we had no load shedding a few weeks ago. So that hope. But what can give us more hope? Is it a leadership that must stand up and really tell us this is how we're going to sort it out by this time?
I agree. We need a plan, a concrete plan. You know what we hear is there's a crisis. Yes, we all know there's a crisis, but what are you going to do about it? And a plan is something that you say, number 1, we're going to do this. Number 2, we're going to do this. Number 3, you can do it. And not wild dreams. It must be objects or goals that you can reach. And it must be transparent. People must know and be informed what is going to happen. If you have any problem and you have a plan to get out of that problem, you've got hope. But if you can't see a plan and you can't see improvement, then you lose your hope.
Yeah, I mean, and to engender positive emotions such as joy and trust and hope, you really have to be deliberate about it, even at the policy level. It's not just a matter of politics. It's really dealing with human beings and currently their frustrations at a human level.
That is true. We want to increase any positive emotions, which then is also increasing happiness. At any stage, in any economy or country, you've got all those emotions. You've got joy and you've got negative emotions. The problem is if negative emotions shows such a big jump, we have to do something to contradict it or to... It's like giving a sickness a medicine. So joy is a way that we can do it. And hope is a way that we can do it. And when we have positive trust what the government is doing, then you can find that your positive emotions will increase in a government or in an economy, actually in an economy. And that's what we want, because at the end of the day, all decisions are driven by emotions. And we would like those decisions to be positive. We don't want half of the South African population leaving the country. We would like to have the skills, knowledge here and have all these problems addressed.
Yeah, we are hearing more and more noises of people saying they're looking elsewhere. Just to conclude, Prof, you are saying in every society at any given time you find positive emotions and negative emotions. The challenge becomes when the negative emotions start to surge far ahead of the positive ones. Currently, year on year, South Africa, we are enmeshed in the negative emotions more than the positive emotions. Is that what you found?
That's true, or the growth is high in negative emotions. And we normally see the opposite. Since 2019 that I did these analysis, you always find positive emotions higher than negative emotions. But in this instance, we find the growth in negative emotions is higher than the growth in joy. So the difference between 2022 and 2023. And that's concerning.
It's worrying indeed. Thank you very much, Prof. Yeah, thank you, Prof. Thanks for your time. Professor Talita Greyling there from University of Johannesburg. She's a well-being economist. Currently, her research showing that there is definitely a growth in the negative emotions that we are all grappling with, emotions of anger, emotions of fear, and among others, and disgust against these ongoing blackouts.